Hey guys, so today's video is going to be really fun. I am going to be doing a Q&A nurse edition. I know some of you guys already know that I'm a nurse, but some of you may not know that. So what better way to introduce it than to have a fun Q&A? I found some really awesome questions and I'm excited to answer them. So let's just jump right in. First question, which I feel like I get this question probably the most. Why did you decide to work in this field? Patients ask me, fellow nurses ask me, family, friends, strangers. Everyone asks that question, and it's a very good question. And I tell everyone the exact same thing. I got into nursing because I wanted to help people. I wanted to save lives. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to spread positivity and just happiness. I wanted to spread happiness to everyone. When you're a nurse, you see the good and the bad. So sometimes you see people in the worst day of their lives. So I want to be that positive ray of sunshine at that worst possible time. So I feel like with nursing, I can make a huge difference, and I love doing that. I love helping people. I love saving lives. I love making a difference. So that was the main reason why I chose nursing. The second reason I chose nursing is because with nursing, you can have so many different specialties with the same nursing degree. So you don't have to go back to school. You don't have to do any extra schooling. You have such a wide range of specialties you can work in with that same degree. So I love the versatility of nursing. But first and foremost, I love helping people and making a difference. But the versatility was definitely a good added bonus. Did you have another career before you went to nursing school? What was it like to change from one career to another? So I did not have another career prior to nursing school. I did have a job, which it was a retail job while I was in college. And it was completely different from nursing. My retail job was just, it was just completely different. But I was not in a different career. I know some people have completely different careers and they go back and they change their mind. That was not the case for me. I went to college and nursing school immediately after high school and graduated and started working in nursing. So I only had that one retail job prior to my nursing career. So nursing it's all that I know. I do so many different things with that specialty. But anytime I meet someone that has changed careers, I always think that's awesome because it's never too late to change careers. It's never too late to try something new. It's never too late to do what you want to do, or at least give it a try. That way you never know unless you try. So I always say, hey, go for it. Where did you go to school for nursing and what was the hardest part? So I went to nursing school in Tennessee. That's where I was born and raised. I went to college and nursing school there. And it was actually the most difficult nursing school to get into in the tri-state area. So it was very, very competitive. And they got thousands of applications each year, and they only selected a couple hundred people. So it was very, very competitive. So thankfully my sister and I both got into the same nursing program, and we were able to go through nursing school together. And nursing school is very tough. What specific part, like all of it is tough. And I'm also going to make a separate video. I'm going to make several different videos just going more into depth about nursing and just have that as a whole separate segment for anyone who's interested. But nursing school is definitely tough, but it's doable. Absolutely doable. So I say still, don't let it being tough deter you from it. Go for it, go full force, and I can give like tips and a little insight into it if anybody's interested in that. But I definitely say go for it. Is this a secure field? Absolutely. 1000%. Nursing is a very secure field. There's a nursing shortage. There has always been a nursing shortage and will probably continue to be a shortage. Nurses are needed all the time in every specialty, every field. There's such a wide range of specialties that nurses are needed in, from nursing homes to hospitals, to outpatient centers, to home health, to children, to schools, colleges, like literally even lawyers. Nurses are needed literally everywhere. So it is a very secure field. And again, the thing that I love about nursing is that if you don't like one specialty, you can go find another and do something completely different. You can go from working in acute care to working in outpatient to working for a law firm to even working in Hollywood. So it's definitely a very secure specialty. Absolutely. Does this job give you the challenges you need to stay interested in the field? I would say yes. again, because if you get comfortable with one specialty, you can go learn a completely new specialty and not know anything about it, and it's just so intriguing. It's so interesting, and it challenges you, and it helps you to learn more and change up and not do the same thing every single day. I know some people don't like getting in the same routine over and over. If you do like the same routine, then there are jobs for that. But if you want something different, you can always go to a different specialty. I've actually had a few different specialties that I've tried, and I will have a full separate video telling you guys more in depth about all of those specialties and why I liked them. But if you're ever bored or you feel like you're not being challenged, you can try something different. Do you see yourself doing this job for the rest of your life? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because I can do any aspect of it. So whatever I decide to do, or if I change and want to do something else or go somewhere else, or just anything that I want to do, there is a nursing job for that. What is a typical work day like for you? So my work day is very interesting. It will take more than just talking about it right here. So I would probably actually make a separate video giving you guys more in depth of my work day, and I could probably even compare work days in my different specialties for people who want to kind of see how that goes. My work day has definitely changed from one specialty to another, and I think that's awesome. I enjoy that. How long have you been a nurse? So I have been a nurse for 10 years now, and it is so crazy to say that out loud. It's unbelievable. The time just flies, but I've had so many wonderful experiences. I feel like I've learned a lot, I've experienced a lot, and I know what I like, what I don't like. I've done a lot over my 10 years of nursing. Do you regret this career? I would say no, I do not regret my career. I love what I do. I love helping people. It's just so amazing when the patients tell you how huge of a difference you made in their lives, and it's just so heartwarming, and I love that feeling. Like it never gets old, so I would never regret doing that. What time does your day start and end? So currently my day can start as early as 5 a.m. and end as late as 5 p.m. Anywhere in between, but it changes drastically depending on what specialty you're in. Do you have mandatory overtime? No. And that's something that I enjoy. I do not have mandatory overtime. The place that I work now has specific hours of opening and closing. So this facility actually closes, so that really, that really helps. So no, there's no mandatory overtime, and I think that's awesome because overtime should be available if you want it, but I was never a big fan of mandatory overtime. Do you get scheduled breaks? Yes and no. There's definitely a scheduled morning break and a scheduled lunch break. But as far as specific times, no, we just kind of amongst ourselves decide when we're gonna go. If we have a patient, if we don't, we kind of just decide when we take our morning break. And then with lunch, we go based off of the order that we arrived. So I feel like we have a pretty good system going, and it works really well. And of course, if you get hungry or you need to step aside for something, we always can do that. We definitely get an adequate amount of breaks. Do you wear a Fitbit or smartwatch at work to keep track of your steps? And how many steps do you typically walk in a day? So yes, I do have a smartwatch. Actually, when I started nursing, I had a Fitbit, and I would keep up with my steps that way, and I would walk probably like 20,000 steps. 18 to 20,000 steps if I recall correctly. But yeah, now I have a smartwatch, and it checks the steps as well, so I can actually see how many steps I've walked today. I walked 5,000 steps today, which is pretty average for me. Sometimes I walk less, sometimes more, just depending on how busy it is for that specific day. Today was a pretty steady day, not crazy busy, but also not really slow, so it was just like right in the middle. Do you prefer working on a particular day? I don't have specific days, but we have specific surgeries or types of surgeries on certain days. So we have eye surgeries or plastic surgery or ENT surgeries or pain management on specific days. And we have 6 ORs, so technically we have a little bit of everything every day. So no matter what day I work, I get to see a little bit of everything. So no, I don't have a specific day that I prefer one over the other. And it's always changing too. Sometimes a doctor will work on a Monday instead of on a Wednesday. So it's always switching up, and then the different ORs definitely help give you a nice variety of surgeries. Do you have a favorite doctor? I don't have a favorite doctor. I feel like all of the doctors that I work with are really awesome, and they're really good at what they do. I don't know, all the doctors are pretty great here, so that's always a positive. Do you ever work weekends or holidays? Currently, no, I do not have to work weekends or holidays because the facility that I work at is closed on weekends and holidays, and that is a game changer. That is so amazing. I enjoy that so much because I went from working acute care where the facility is open 24 hours. You're working, you know, holidays, weekends, evenings, whatever. Well, I never had to work nights, but you're working like all kinds of hours, all holidays. Like I've worked literally every major holiday before. So I really enjoy working at this facility, again, because they have a scheduled open and close time. On major holidays and on the weekends, the facility is always closed, so there's not even a chance of you having to work because no one is going to be there. So I think that's really awesome, and that's something that I really enjoy about this job. I can kind of plan things and make a better set schedule because I have an idea of what's going on. Plus I can spend holidays with my family, which is always really nice. How many specialties have you worked in so far? And the next question asks, what's your favorite? So I've worked in several specialties. I've worked in surgical oncology, orthopedics, progressive telemetry, step down, hemodialysis, wellness, hyper wellness, and outpatient surgery. So 8 specialties. I told you guys, I definitely like to try different specialties and see what I prefer the most. What specialty is my favorite so far? Probably gonna say outpatient surgery is my favorite. And what was the most interesting? I would probably have to say hemodialysis. But, you know, I have pros and cons from each specialty and things that I liked and disliked about each specialty. So I will make a full separate video going more in depth about those because I think that would be pretty interesting, especially for anyone who's debating on what specialty they like. I have tried a few and some I like more than others, but I'll give you guys more insight into that one. So let me know if you want a separate video going more in depth about that. But yeah, those are the specialties that I've worked in and I've enjoyed all of them. I love learning new things, so I definitely enjoy all of it. But yeah, where I am now, outpatient surgery is definitely my favorite. I would say because I like the schedule. I like that there's open and close and no weekends or holidays, so that part is really nice. But I also love the aspect of patients coming in and you can see them from start to finish. You can see when they're terrified and nervous and you help get them calm and situated, and then they go back into the OR, and then you can see them come out into the recovery room and they're just so relieved and happy and they're excelling, and you call them the next day and follow up with them and they're just doing like so wonderful. So I love that aspect of it, seeing like the quick results, I guess I would say, as opposed to like in the hospital sometimes you could have a patient for several days or weeks. It's definitely different, whereas I see and you can have the same patient for several weeks. That is the only thing I would say. I don't get to see the patients very often, but again, that is a good thing that they don't have to see nurses very often. But I definitely enjoy the fact that I can see them throughout the entire process. Everybody's just like so happy and so relieved and just so joyous. So I enjoy being a part of that. What are your patient ratios like? So in my current facility, the patient ratio is 1-to-1 or 2-to-1. So in recovery, it's 1 nurse to 1 patient, just because they're just waking up from the anesthesia. So you have to give them your undivided attention, make sure their vitals are stable, they're coming out of the anesthesia and everything is going well, and you see them progress to their normal state. So in pre-op, it's 1-to-1 or 2-to-1. So if it's 2-to-1, then we have 1 nurse working on all of the paperwork, you know, putting in all of the history and the going through making sure everything is there as far as EKGs and everything, EKGs, H&Ps, and just getting everything together, while the other nurses kind of getting the patient prepped, getting the site prepped, getting an IV started, getting fluids going, and anything else they need as far as like STDs or TED hoses or anything like that. So that works really well, and it helps to speed along the process and keeps the surgeries going quickly. But again, sometimes if we don't need to go that fast, then it's one-to-one, one nurse taking care of the paperwork and also prepping the patient in between and kind of jumping back and forth and doing that. But it works really well. In recovery, it's usually one-to-one. Unless it's a very difficult patient, then of course other nurses will jump in and help out. We kind of get 2 or 3 nurses on one patient if we want to really get them ready quick and get them prepped for surgery, so that the surgery schedule continues to go smoothly and everything's ready and we can keep it moving along instead of it kind of falling behind. So that's always nice. I've had ratios up to 6-to-1, 5-to-1, 4-to-1, 3-to-1, and now 1-to-1. So it just depends on the specialty, the ratio that you have. Have you ever gotten called off from work? Absolutely. Every field I have gotten called off from work, some more than others. So in the outpatient surgery, you get called off if, say, a doctor gets sick and he has to cancel all of his surgeries, and of course they don't need as many nurses as they thought they needed, so then you get canceled. Or say some doctors want to go on vacation and they're not doing surgeries for a full week, then they don't need as many nurses as they normally would need, and then you will get called off. So, and it just varies, it just depends on what's going on with the surgeons and what they are doing. Has nursing changed your life for the better? I would say absolutely. Nursing has definitely changed my life for the better. It's given me a different outlook. It's helped me to kind of understand different people more and see other people's experiences and just be so like grateful for everything. And it definitely gives you perspective, for sure. Some people take things for granted, but I definitely don't take things for granted. I feel like I never did, but this makes me not take it for granted even more, just because of what I've seen. And it also, you know, it gives you hope. You see miracles happen every day, and that's just so amazing. And I love when that happens, and I love seeing the happiness and joy on the patient and family's faces. So it just warms your heart. It's enjoyable. I feel like nursing has also given me an opportunity to try different things, learn new skills and learn new things, and I enjoy that. I enjoy learning new things and finding out about interesting things, and just it definitely has changed my life for the better, and it continues to change, and new things are created, and it just continues to amaze me. So absolutely. What advice do you have for baby nurses? Don't give up, don't feel defeated, don't let anything get to your head, don't take anything too lightly, but don't feel too weighed down by things. Take it one step at a time. Focus on your goal. And if something isn't working for you, or a specialty you feel like isn't for you, don't be afraid to change. I have talked to so many nurses that completely hate the specialty they're in, but they say they don't want to learn something new. Don't be afraid to get out there and learn something new if you don't like where you are, because nursing is such a wide field that you can find something that you enjoy. Everyone can find something that they truly enjoy and love doing. So you don't have to go back to school, you don't have to get another degree. Don't feel like you're stuck in one way. There are so many options out there. Look into your options and go what works best for you. If you're still in nursing school, don't give up. Don't feel defeated. Continue working hard. I know it's difficult, but it'll be worth it in the end. You'll just be so happy that you did it and you succeeded, and you'll just be so happy. Just know that it gets better. You'll learn, and if you feel like it's still not for you after you've kind of gotten more comfortable in that specialty, then try something else, and don't be afraid to do so. Find what works for you and go with that. Don't look at someone else. Go based off of you and what you need. Some people prefer acute care because it's fewer days each week, but their hours are longer. And some people prefer outpatient because the hours are shorter, but you work more days. So it just depends on what works best for you. Nothing is like cookie cutter, and everyone is not the same. So that's why there's so many different fields out there, so many specialties. Don't let anyone stop you. Don't let anyone discourage you. Go for it and make it happen, and you'll be glad that you did. All right, so those are all of the questions. I feel like there are some really good questions in there, and some that I would love to go more in depth into, and I will make separate videos for those. If you're a new nurse, or you're in nursing school, or if you're an experienced nurse, comment down below and let me know. I'm interested to see how many fellow nurses are here, or future nurses are here, or baby nurses. So I'm going to continue making videos. Again, some of the ones as far as like my specific specialties, what I like and dislike, my daily routine from start to finish, and any other advice that I have. I feel like it gives you a better insight into nursing and also a better insight into me. But overall, I had a great time, and I hope you guys enjoy as well. If you have any other questions or comments for me, leave them in the description box down below, and I'll make sure to answer them, or I'll even make another video about it. All right guys, until next time.